gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, no. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Pops, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, ahead, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock, turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And that'll set him back 5.
Yeah, I can hear you. Press timeout. Press timeout.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. Even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over, he in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a faucet. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
From Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real what's round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinding my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mid dot.
Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Check 53's Mike. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Now it's Watson. And the pressure gets to him again.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll be taken down at the 26. It's a gain of 35. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung here.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody to run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, good. Backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
On second down now, it's Grant.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. This is Grant. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. 3rd and medium. They opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. On first down, Grant. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Let's go! Let's go!
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
So if they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And Barkley did not get there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going for it. It's Watson rolling to his left. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's pin the mirrors back and go full street.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. To the car. That's almost. Hey, we got Mike.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
That's what I'm talking about, boy.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 8.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Mike, we own them. We own them.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
It was a route.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the big ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, Rosen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner. And get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Give me that ball, defense. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got
A shotgun snap for Watson.
Oh, my God. Watson.
Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
We got this. The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. They'll run on first down. It's Grant. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
2 yards, good enough for a first. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Grant. And some space here. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Corey Grant with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing again is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he rifles one incomplete. Amendola, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Slam route, caught by Elder. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check. 53's mine. Check.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
From the gun, here's Watson. Dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
53, check 53.
Out of the gun, Watson. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That was a safety blitz by Eric Weddle.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And got his
my
man.
God.
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On second down now. It's Grant. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. On first down, Grant. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Again, it's Barkley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 55.
Operating from the gun, Watson. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
We got it. 53's the mark. 53.
Now Saquon Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Check 53's mark. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. 54.
On second and 11 now. Watson flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
53, Mike 53. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
A first down carry for Barkley. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. 22 yards. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. First six. 53.
Watson now, operating from the gun. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Fournette. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now Leonard Fournette. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On third down. It's Grant. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Wild now as he'll kick it away for the second time. But how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Steelers' 45-yard line.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Who that?
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
3rd down and 9.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9.
53's the Mike. 53. Check 53. You gonna get this boy?
From the gun, Watson. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
That's good for a Jacksonville. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if you're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.
16.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Grant. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game.
Let him know.
On 2nd down, it's Grant. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch tight end. Out. 3 down. Out.
To throw is Watson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson eluding the pressure right. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Hey, let's go. 24. I'm coming after you. 51 on it. Mike 51. It's a
Watson on 3rd down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go on 4th. Watson, now a desperation throw, deep depth, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive, and they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And accelerating, and off he goes. The 30. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year. But I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, but once they get away from it a little bit and they get into their off-season program, and they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, you know, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance to advance farther in the playoffs.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.
100 yard dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want,